Welcome to the Forsyth Magazines podcast. I'm Brooke Eagle, your host, bringing you the stories of the people shaping our community. From business owners to local leaders, we'll explore their journeys, passions, and lessons learned. Let's dive in. Hey guys, I am so excited about our guest today. We have Darris with Dare to Design. She is a contractor and she is incredible. Hey Darris, what's up?
Hey, nothing much, just sitting in my sweat and my sawdust.
I can tell you came from a job. I love it.
I literally did. Just walked right off the job. So,
I love it.
But I mean, it's just, my normal state of being now. So,
so Darris is a general contractor. Mm-hmm. And when did you start your business?
Summer of 2020, actually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was, you have a very cool backstory to how you started this business, which I want to get into, but I just am obsessed with the fact that you're a female contractor. There's just so few of them. And so it's just awesome.
For sure. Thanks. Yeah.
How does it feel and how have you kind of overcome the challenges of being in a male dominated field?
Well, I don't know that I'm ever really going to overcome that, to be totally honest, because I just think until there's more women that are doing it, I just, people are just going to kind of look at me and assume that they like to kind of sub out contractor and just sort of put like designer, like, oh, you must be the designer. And I'm like, okay, that's one of my hats, but I tend to kind of do literally the whole scope of the project. And it's not until I actually start to show references, my portfolio, work, pictures, that kind of thing, where people were like, oh, and you're doing this. And I'm like, yeah, like I said, I'm the one on the job. I'm the one doing it. I'm the boss.
Me, my hands.
It's just me, my hands. Like, I'm a one-woman show. I'm actually about to start with some part-time help, which is great for my business, but it's also a little scary because
control, letting go of control is hard. That's the hardest part of being a business owner.
Because right now I can control the quality, right? So, adding staff to that, and someone has to care as much about the quality in my business as I do, and that's really freaking tricky.
Yeah.
So,
The thing is no one else is going to love it like you love it.
Absolutely.
You have to find, it's like a marriage in a way. You have to find that perfect partner.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's not easy work either. I'm sweating and I'm dirty and it's gross and you're crawling around on the floor with who knows what else. And I mean, there's not a lot of people want to do that, especially our generation. I feel like we're kind of getting away from the trade laborers and that kind of stuff. So
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think,
she's looking at you because I'm not in the same generation.
I mean, listen, I wasn't going to say it, but you did.
I'm with you on the sentiment. I'm just probably twice your age. So
who knows? We can loop you in. You can sit with us. It's no problem.
Up here, I'm definitely younger than you.
I love it. So, Darris, one of my favorite things about you is that you were completely self-taught, because I think that's just so inspiring from male or female. It's just inspiring that you have taught yourself how to do all this stuff, because I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was, well, I really kind of got thrown in the deep end here. I didn't really have much of a choice. I, like a lot of people in the middle of COVID, got laid off from my job. So I was working and I was the director of technology at the Greensboro Children's Museum, which if you haven't taken your kids there, you definitely should. They are a wonderful nonprofit museum. But they got hit really hard with COVID and they had to shut down, and it was 6 months. 6 months turned into a year. And, like I said, they're a nonprofit. So if they're not open, they're not making profit and money. And then now they're just going into a deficit trying to pay their staff, just to do the right thing. And they finally had to make the really hard call to lay off the entire staff. People that have been there for 20 some years lost their jobs. So it was horrible. And then, at that time, if you can remember, it feels like so long ago now at this point, but I mean, if you can remember, nowhere was hiring. Everybody was on a hiring freeze. And so everybody's freaking out. Nobody's hiring. And I mean, I was on LinkedIn applying to nannying jobs. I'm early 20s and have a pretty good resume, but I'm applying to just do anything to make some money. I had just gotten married at this point. So my husband and I had just bought a house, big life changes. It was really unsettling, to say the least. And then I started doing this kind of stuff for family and friends, and they were like, gosh, like, and they were paying me out of pity, essentially. Like, I was like, I mean, it was like literally going to my mother-in-law's house and she's paying me out of pity pretty much. And, which is so sweet. But, they were like, you really like have a gift for this. Like you have an eye for it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, sure. But then I started to just like post about it on a Facebook page and just sort of document the process. And eventually it just spiraled and it shifted from friends and family to complete strangers. And now I just haven't known
and now
how to
you are booked out for like months and months. What are you booking right now?
September.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is like, it is April.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
I like find myself looking at my calendar sometimes going, oh, holy crap. Like, I really don't realize how much this business has grown or changed or just evolved. And I still, to this day, I mean, we're going on year 5 now, but I still have days where I'm like, I got to pinch myself. Like, this is just the biggest turn of events. Like, I've really had like a really crap situation and it just turned into something so incredible. And just like, I guess people say that saying where work doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
And I'm that's me now. I fit into that category. Work doesn't feel like
that's
work.
awesome. Well, because your kind of work is definitely very physical and taxing. So for
sure.
that not to feel like work, that's impressive.
Well, yeah. Thank you. It's been a wild, fun ride.
Yeah. So tell us about, I want to hear about one of your favorite projects.
Okay.
And then 2, kind of what your process looks like if somebody wanted to book you.
Okay. Favorite project. That is so hard.
I'm sure you have so many.
I do. And it's cool because like it keeps changing. So people want me they're pushing me, right? Like they're like, hey, have you done this or have you done this? And I'm like, no, but I want to. And
I'll learn.
Yeah. And so those are like the kind of projects where I feel like put me in that uncomfortable, like, territory, but it just is so fun at the end because I'm like, I did that. I did that all on my own,
Yeah.
But I would say I just did a built-in for one of my clients, Melanie. And if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you probably saw it in one of my reels, which if you don't, you definitely should.
Yeah. What's your handle?
It's at Dare to Design NC. So that's like 2 N's back to back, not just 1 N. Dare to Design NC. But
and T-O, not the number 2.
yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Spell it out. So we did these beautiful custom built-ins in her what was her playroom, which is now her office, and we did these like awesome custom bookshelves and some cabinets underneath with like a L-shaped desk and this beautiful like oak counter and a bench in the middle.
Wow.
And then she picked the cutest little like flower sconces, which are from Target, believe it or not, which I love Target, but that was probably one of my favorites because that one gave me a run for my money. It was a hard build, but it turned out gorgeous. And she has great
I love
taste,
that.
So,
So what kind of trends are you seeing right now?
Ooh, okay. Lots of drywall, like plaster, like Venetian plaster, lime wash, that sort of like old European, sort of like faux finish. Lots of that, and then a lot of built-ins. People are calling me, and that's probably the bulk of my schedule right now. Just wanting them in their office, their playrooms.
Yeah.
Which I mean, because they're just so functional. That's like hidden storage for all your crap.
It looks nice.
Yes, and
it looks upscale.
That's what I was about to say. It's custom. Like you walk into a home, and if you're paying like middle of the road for a home, you're not going to have that sort of like quality project sitting in the middle of the living room. Now, if you go up to, like Nevin Home Builders, who is one of my favorite builders that I work with, you're going to walk in their home and it's going to be chef's kiss, luxury everywhere. But, for us like middle class folk, you don't just get that walking into a house. So it's nice to add it after the fact.
Yeah. And I love that people seem to be doing more color lately.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
I know. And
I'm
I
not
love
a
that.
neutral gal. So.
I know. I have such a weird opinion about that because my wardrobe is very much neutral color palette, but then when it comes to like my house, you walk into the house and there's different colors in every room. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your process. Like if somebody were to just walk us through from like the estimate through the job?
Yeah. So I would say a lot of my inquiries now are coming from Instagram or my Facebook page, just like straight up messaging, which I prefer. Actually, this is an unpopular opinion, but I hate social media. So like having to, my friend Anna Howe, who does like stationery and whatnot, she's super talented. She keeps asking me, she's like, are you ready for a website yet? I'm like, if I have to put another thing on my agenda to check at the end of the day, I'm just going to pull all my hair out. So I don't want to do it. And I'm going to just kick and scream and just not until I can. But so pretty much I'm getting all my inquiries through Instagram and Facebook. And people are kind of saying, hey, I want to do X, Y, Z. And because it's just me right now, it's really hard for me to get off the job just to go to someone's house and do like an in-person consult. Or if they do, they're going to be waiting a while for me to get out there to them, because if I'm not on the job, then the project's on pause. So what I'm doing here lately is just getting a lot of videos and photos, and we're just kind of doing consults that way, like over FaceTime, and we're just sort of talking, because really all I need is some basic measurements and some photos, and I can get you a quote. Yeah. So at that point, they'll just kind of send me that information, and then that way I can get them a quote in a matter of hours. And then they know if it's in their budget or if it's something they need to wait on. But my wait list is so long, so they can usually wait, which is nice. Yeah. That is the perk of having a long wait list.
Yes.
You can set that money aside.
I can speak from experience. I'm like, oh, good, I can save for a few more months.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of what that looks like. And then you pay $100 deposit and you get on my schedule, and I kind of reach out. I sort of work like month to month. So you'll probably hear from me like 2 to 4 weeks before our scheduled time, just to like revisit, do we need to order anything, finalize paint color, that kind of stuff. So
do you also offer, like, do most people come with a pretty specific vision, or do you offer a little bit of design assistance?
So that's a great question. I would say that a lot of people come to me knowing that they want to sort of hand that over to me. I have a really, my clients are just, insane. So great. Like I just could not be more thankful for them. But I would say for the most part, there's maybe an exception of like 5%. But for the most part, they're like, I ain't got a clue what to do. Like, I need you to do it. I trust you completely. I've seen your page. Like, just here's my inspo photo and run with it. And that's kind of that's why I really love how this process like organically has unfolded, because it just, it's just so fun that I get to kind of like my clients trust me enough to really run with my judgment. And
I think that's a lot of, I would almost consider you like an artist. Yeah. And so I think like, same with people who like do hair. I think there's a lot of art to that. And I think they do the best when you're like, okay, what would you do? Like, take it, instead of giving them some like cookie cutter exact way they have to do things, like let them have a little bit of creative liberty.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes like that project that I just mentioned, that was one of my favorites with the blue built-ins. Melanie has a very specific, she like knows what she wants. And so I love those clients too, especially when they have good taste. So. It makes my life so easy.
That's awesome.
What makes a project fun for you? I just want something that's interesting, but what makes it fun for you?
I would say that piece where the client kind of just really can trust me through the process, like when they're really just able to hand it over to me and I get to sort of make more creative decisions with paint color.
Like, they don't know exactly what they want.
Exactly. But and I can kind of fill in the gaps and help pick that like funky knob or handle on the built-ins, and just the little details like the ornate trim and that kind of stuff, where they're like, I don't know, you do your thing. That really makes it fun for me, because then at the end they're like, holy crap, this is better than I even envisioned. And, I can kind of, there's an element of surprise maybe, I guess at that point, that I can sort of, and I love a surprise. I don't like getting surprises, but I like
surprising other people.
I like surprising other people. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What is something that you find yourself like a trend that you're covering up or redoing, or like over projects that you're like, oh my gosh, this again?
A lot of people are not going to like this, but white kitchen cabinets.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people are done with
everything.
I know. They're done with the white. Everybody for a while, really when I first started my business, everyone wanted an all white kitchen. And I'd say that that's probably what we're working to.
So people are going towards more bold colors.
Yes. Yeah. Or they want a better, maybe like a fun statement countertop or a backsplash, or they were mad that they chose a regular subway tile, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Because like it's your home that you live in. It shouldn't be boring. Like it should showcase your personality.
Yes. And one thing I'll say too that I'm covering up a lot, which is kind of sad, is like other people's work.
Oh no.
So, but like in this industry, I think that that's why I've been able to have some success, because women are detail oriented, right? Like that's our jam. That's what we're really good at. That's why we're always in control of the schedule, the kids, just all of the things. Like, and we can do so many things and do them well. And I feel like a lot of people in this industry just drop the ball there, and they think, oh, well, I messed up the paint line there on the crown molding, but no one will notice. And that client does notice. They just paid you a good amount of money to come and paint their whole bedroom. And if they have, paint bleed on the ceiling or whatever, like it's a problem. And you just painted the whole room a dark green or something. So, I'm spending a lot of time and people always are like, I just should have hired you the first time. And I'm like, you should have.
You're
but
right.
now you know. Now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah.
So as far as types of projects, or wait, before I say that,
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the woman thing. We said this before we started recording, but that's the same philosophy we have with the magazine, is why because you said that women are mostly the ones calling you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
That's the same process with Forsyth Women. Is we were like, women make the decisions in the household for the most part.
Yes.
No offense, Tim. I'm sure you make some decisions too.
The men don't care. Y'all don't care what the house looks like.
Y'all don't care.
Nope.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. They don't. So the women are making the decisions.
Yes.
So that's why we started Forsyth Women. And that's why I think it's so cool that you're doing what you do, because I don't know, if I had the choice, I would like to call a woman.
Yeah. And I think too, like there's just, it's more comforting, right? Like, cause these women are usually either working from home, or maybe they're stay-at-home moms, or they're the one that booked with me. So they're the one that I'm meeting on the job, right? Like when I first show up to get started. And what I'm noticing, some of my feedback that I'm getting is that they love how comfortable the experience is with me. So I feel like a girlfriend in the home, rather than like a weird like Joe Schmo off the street where you don't know where he's going after work, And like for example, this week actually I'm working on a dinette bench, and the girl that is a stay-at-home mom, and she has a 2.5 little girl running around, and like a chunky little squishy bulldog who's old as dirt and blind, and they're I have the dog in my lap and the little girl sitting on the bench I'm building, and she's playing with all my tools, and we're making it fun and interactive, and she's like,
that's so sweet.
You're worth every penny. Like this is why this is just such a better experience. Like, and that like is the best compliment, because nobody likes to feel uncomfortable in their own home.
No,
like you don't want to go hide in your bedroom.
That's like me when I'm the classic millennial. When the doorbell rings, I'm like,
hide.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I'm the same way. Even if it's Amazon, I'm like, I know I ordered that, but I gotta go.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. Avoid, like shut the blinds.
Yeah, watching the phone ring. Can you text me about this?
Can I avoid interaction with you?
So, Darris, what has been like the thing that has surprised you the most about starting this business?
Oh, I would say I really wasn't. I knew it was going to be tricky, just kind of getting past the being a woman in this industry kind of stigma. But like how hard I really have to explain and reiterate that, like, no. I'm the one that does the work. Like there are no subs. There are no, and because I guess maybe there's not really, honestly, a lot of people that do what I do, where I am the contractor, but I also am the sub, like you're kind of one or the other, where there's the guy on the job
there's the guy that gives you the quote.
Yes.
And then the guy that comes out to do the work.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess I do understand, where that disconnect happens, but I would say like just not really ready for how hard I have to explain, my role and like what I do. I just wasn't really expecting that, but I mean, I love it because then I get to go. I get to watch their surprise face go, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty cool sometimes.
So
I do some cool stuff.
So I want to know, Darris at home, does your husband do any of the handiwork jobs, or is it all Darris?
Absolutely not. I love my husband dearly. Okay, he could. He really could. But we have decided for our marriage that we don't do team projects. That's what we call them. We do not do team projects anymore. He does the outside, and our yard looks great. And but that's my job. That's, I do all the pretty things on the inside. And at first it was funny because he would be like, oh, are you sure you want to do that? Like, that's a lot. And then I started doing more projects at our own home, and he's like, you're pretty good at this. I'm like, well, yeah. So
I love that.
yeah.
Now tell me something I do not know.
We love a supportive man.
Oh, he really is. I mean, and he'll just stand there too, and just the whole time, just like, gas me up, and he just loves what I'm doing. He's always, anytime someone comes over to our house, he's like, oh yeah, Darris built that. She did. I watched her. I didn't do nothing. He's so supportive. But
so what is his job? Does he do anything related?
So he's blue collar too.
Okay.
His family actually owns a guardrail company that they've owned for several generations. And it just kind of gets passed down from like father to son. So eventually it'll be his. And right now it's, his dad's, but he's like the guy on the job. And
that's awesome.
It's really nice because we can both come home and like talk about work and it be something we're both really passionate and proud of.
Yeah.
And we have that flexibility because we're both, small business owners essentially. So being able to just take a long weekend one summer, when we want, it's really nice.
Yeah. I would argue the pros way outweigh the cons of being both small business owners. Like there's definitely some additional stressors and things like that.
For sure. I would take that stress any day rather than like walking into work and just going, oh my God.
Yeah.
I've had jobs like that. Fun fact, I used to cold call sales copiers. Like the real office.
Ew.
Yeah. Like the office in real life. Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah. Door to door trying to sell copiers.
Cold calling gives me the ick. I can't do it.
Me too.
It'll
Actually,
build your
getting
character.
cold calls is worse for me. I don't like talking on the phone at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not a phone talker.
That's ironic. As much as you like talking.
I love to talk, but let me talk to you in person.
Yeah.
That's Gavin, my fiance. He hates texting, which is unfortunate because I'm a big texter.
You're a big
Now, I
texter,
like
yeah.
texting.
Oh,
Yeah.
but he hates it. He has to be either in person with you or he's going to call you up on FaceTime. Not on the phone.
He needs eye contact.
He needs the eye contact. He needs to know the emotions. He's like, I can't tell what you're feeling without seeing your
I
face.
love that.
I'm like, okay.
I love that. Yeah. My husband is like the most simple man in the best way. No social media.
Yeah.
Short text. I mean.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Literally. That's like most of our and I love that about him because I'm
funny.
just, I'm kind of a low maintenance girl. If he heard me say that, he'd probably be like, yeah, right. But whatever.
That's funny. So, Darris, what does the future of Dare to Design look like?
Okay, it's so scary to say out loud, like
Say it. You
I
gotta
know.
manifest it.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to get better about that because like here I am, 5 years now where I thought this was going to be like a temporary
little COVID project.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's just like maybe it's like almost scary to say out loud because you're like, God, if that really happens, like, do I deserve that? Like, wow.
You do. I'm here to tell you that you do.
Thank you. It would just be, just so crazy to think that you built a dream like that, by your own two hands, literally. So, but I think really what a lot of people are like, you could have like 20 crews. And I'm like, no. I don't really want to do that. I don't think. What I see more so happening is having a small team where they can kind of operate with or without me on the job. I don't ever want to be off my jobs. I want my clients to know and see me and work with me. So I don't ever want to be hands off. I don't see that, but I would love to have, more like residual income and sort of get into like flipping homes.
Yeah.
That's really kind of my 5-year
Ooh,
plan.
I like that.
I'm actually about to start my first flip. Yeah, here in the next. That's like top secret information. So.
Yeah, don't tell it on a podcast.
Crap, I forgot. I thought Brooke and I were just having cocktails. Yeah.
No, but we should.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, and Jody is actually going to help me. Jody Brim.
Oh my
photography.
gosh.
In case you don't know her, by her
In case
name
you've been
alone.
living under a rock.
Yeah. She's going to help me like do the video like of the whole process. So
that's amazing.
I'm
You
excited.
could have your own TV show.
Listen, I would love that, but I could tell you one thing. I've been really good about my language on this podcast. So, but like Amazon, I'd have to be on like Amazon or probably like Netflix because HGTV ain't putting my mouth on TV. I'll tell you that much.
I don't have HGTV anyway. I just have Netflix and Amazon, so that would be perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
you would be quite the TV show.
I would love that. That really would be like, that's even just, that feels like something I can't even ask for, like that would be so fun. I don't know if you remember Extreme Home Makeover.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would love to do that And like, if money weren't an option and I didn't have to make money, like that would be my dream job, to just flip homes like that for people who deserve it in our community, like on this kind of scale. Like, oh my gosh, like that is where my heart is. Like I just,
Yes.
that's the piece that I really love.
Oh, I love that. Hey, let's manifest it. Because I'm assuming they did that. That show has been so long since I've seen it, but they did it through a bunch of sponsorships. And
I think so.
And I know a media company.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh.
Me.
Well, oh yeah.
And a magazine that could help promote
That
it.
could be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to have the Dare to Design TV show.
Okay.
We're going to have Dare to Design Extreme Makeover Edition.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you have big things coming in your world, and
You're
I'm so happy
sweet.
for you.
Thank you. I'm really excited to see where things end up. I mean, this has just been such a, like I said, a wild, fun ride, and the biggest blessing. I just any additional day from here on that I can get and keep doing what I'm doing, I'm thankful for. Even if it all blows up at some point, like I'm thankful for every day I've had so far. So
I love it. Well, Darris, such a pleasure to chat with you. Let's go get
Always nice
some
to meet you.
cocktails soon.
okay.
I want cocktails.
Can we get some pad thai since it's right downstairs
Oh,
too?
what the faux?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can do it. What the fuck? Thai Harmony, any of those.
yeah.
I've never been there.
It's where
To,
those
to what the fuck?
No, I even said it wrong. I've never even had. It's
It's
pronounced pho.
I never say that though. That feels like
It feels wrong
it
because
feels
it's
not spelled
PHO.
correctly. Yeah.
Well, but it's Vietnamese, so
yeah,
It's true.
yeah,
You're
it is
not
actually
wrong.
what the fuck.
yeah.
That's how it's supposed
It's a
to
great
be.
name.
Yeah.
They did great with that.
Genius, really.
Yeah. My mailbox downstairs is right over top of it, so I'm right there with them.
I love it. So, guys, be sure to give Darris a follow on Instagram and Facebook at Dare to Design NC. You can see all of her amazing projects. Even though she doesn't love social media, she is very good at it.
Thank you. I do try my best.
The
Even
reels are
hating
on
it,
point.
I do hate it, but I try my best.
It's so satisfying watching your reels because it's like the instantaneous gratification of the before and after that took weeks of work, I know.
yes,
But it's so fun to watch.
Good. That's my only goal then. That feels
Yeah.
good.
All right, guys, be sure to give her a follow. And as always, you can find Forsyth Mags on Instagram at Forsyth Mags. And if you enjoyed this episode, or if you've ever enjoyed a Forsyth Magazine's podcast episode, please leave us a rating or a review. And that's a wrap for today. The views and opinions stated on this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our distributors or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Forsyth Magazines Incorporated. Ooh, that's a mouthful.